Welcome back to the Small Kitchen of Glory. I'm Smoke and I'm in the kitchen. Today I'm going to be making something I've never made before, never even heard of it before today. Filipino ensaymada. Let's pretend I said ensaymada there. It's ensaymada. A lot of ingredients. And I'm going to go through the parts are hard. There's a lot of ingredients and I'm going to go through them real quick. We got a quarter cup of water for our teaspoon and a half of yeast. We have a half a cup of powdered sugar that will be used with a half a cup of butter to make our creamy topping. We use half of this stick of butter for the filling, 1/3 cup of sugar for our dough. We have a stick of softened butter for the dough, 3 eggs. We're going to be using 3 egg yolks for the dough. What's this? Oh, a cup of milk for the dough, a quarter teaspoon of salt for the dough, 3.5 cups of flour for the dough. Is that everything? We're going to be using some extra sugar because we need to activate the yeasties. So what I'm going to do is get rid of the stuff I don't need. I'm going to throw an extra tablespoon-ish of sugar into my warm water. That way my yeasties are nice and happy. We're just going to give them a little whisker doodle, just a little bit. This water's a little bit too hot, so I'm hoping this calms it down some. Then 1.5 teaspoons of yeasties. Just boop. Boop. This is a 1/4 teaspoon. So I'm just going to do 2 of these. Boop. Boop. Beautiful. Whisk this up until it's all friendly and the yeasties have all the sugar they could ever want to eat. And we're going to be using this in the dough, obviously. So we're going to set this aside and let this activate while we get all of our dry ingredients. And actually be the wets first. We'll do that first. We got the mixer ready. All these recipes say to just use the mixer, not a kneading hook. So, well, hopefully that works. The recipe says, in mixing bowl, mix together milk, sugar, shortening, which I'm using butter because I don't use shortening because it's full of vegetable oil and seed oil and all kinds of other bad crap. So I was gonna toss our butter in there. I forgot to mention this also has cheese in it. So all this sugar and cheese, Filipinos, they're crazy. And it also calls for, you can't make this up, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Sorry, I'm using a half a teaspoon. Nothing uses a 1/4 teaspoon. We're gonna mix this up till it's creamy. This recipe did not tell me to use warm milk, just normal milk. So what's happening is the butter, even though it's room temperature, it's in cold milk and it's starting to clump up in the milk, which is, I mean, very predictable, but I'm following the recipe. This issue with the internet recipes. A lot of people don't really know how to write or how to explain things, which is confusing. I think it'll all be okay once we add in the flour. It'll have more friction and it'll really smoosh it together, but for now we're gonna, you know, maybe I should, whoa, that's going everywhere. Maybe I should use a whisk. Work, daddy, work. Look at that speed. Woo, yeah. Then we're gonna start adding the flour in half at a time. So half the flour and the yeast, and then the rest of it. Let's look at this. And by looking at it, I mean poke it with my finger like a man because I can't see it. It's still clumpy, that's cool. All right, you did nothing for me. We're going back to the beater. We have some very beautifully frothy yeast. My watch just went off. I forgot to take care of that. We're gonna dump in our frothy yeast. Beautiful, beautiful frothy yeast. And we need half the flour. I know this is 3.5 cups of flour, so I'm just gonna take 2 general scoops with my 1 cupper. And we're just gonna call that about half. Science. All right, we want this to turn into a paste. So paste me, daddy. Start down low to de-weaponize it. We'll put it on medium and really let it do some work. Now I have my scraper for scraping, just in case. Probably like it's hot. Oh yeah, it's pretty pasty. Yep, the butter did mix in pretty good. All right, that's good. But I'm gonna give it a little bit longer and I'm going to wash this off my hand. Now I'm going to prepare my egg yolks. It said flour and egg yolks. Not flour then egg yolks, flour and egg yolks. So I'm going to recycle some of these. We're going to crack that right into the old hander doodle. Put the shells in there till we get an egg yolk. And we're just going to loop that in there. Crack the next guy. Oh, there's a shell in it, but it doesn't matter because we're not using that. I'll have to pick that out for my fried rice tomorrow. It's another video Sarah wants me to make, but I'm scared to make fried rice on the internet. It's a terrifying thing to do. Very terrifying. Boop. I don't even feel the eggshell. Well, a little bit of crunch never hurt no one. We're gonna beat these in. Then we'll dump in the rest of the flour. I'm going to slowly incorporate this. I don't care if they say just dump it all in. I would like it to be hydrated. So, yeah, it's just about all of it. No, I refuse. We're gonna go a little bit at a time. And then we'll dump in the rest after this gets incorporated. She's struggling. She's fighting for her life out here on these streets. You can do it, baby. You can do it. All right, that dough's okay. It's loose, but it's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. It's sticky. I'm not going to add more flour, but we're gonna finish this up by hand. And to do that, I need to get this dough. Oh man, this is a sticky mess. Oh man, I might need a wooden spoon. This stuff is aggressive. Oh man, can we even get it all off the beater? Pray for me. We got most of it off. This is an interesting texture. All right, we're just gonna scrape the bottoms and kind of fold it. That's what the recipe said. Scrape the bottoms and fold it to the middle. This is an interesting dough. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of intrigued. It feels fun. It feels interesting. And it says just to let it rise in this. It takes like 2 to 3 hours to rise, so this is going to be a long video for me, same length for everyone else, but I'm going to be twiddling my thumbs for about 3 hours waiting for this to rise. Oh man, it really likes sticking to the edge, doesn't it? I have a gently used kitchen towel that was used to rise pitas. We're going to put this in the oven with the pilot light on and see you in a couple hours. Boom! And the reveal! Oh, that is definitely doubled in size. That's a big old sloppy jalopy. Okay, we need to break this into pieces. And it says to make 16, but for a special mold. I don't have the special mold, so I'm using muffin tins. So this is going to be interesting. First, we need a wee bit of flour on the counter. Deal with this sticky beast, just a little bit. I just put some flour in my sugar. I have sugar and butter here and some avocado oil. Oh crap. Now, the instructions said to turn this out using your scraper. To scrape the edges and just let it flow onto the counter. So that's what we're doing here. I mean, we're trying. We're definitely trying. We're attempting. Ah, jeez. Well, it really like oh, but damn, it worked. We need to roll this into a log. There's a little bit of flour on it. We want that just to prevent any extra sticking. We're gonna roll this. Oh, I need my bench scraper. I have my bench scraper. We're gonna use this to cut it into equal-ish pieces. Just like so. We're going to ball this up and check it. I have a kitchen scale on the way. That would be really nice right now because these balls don't look exactly equal. So is life. We're going to cut a little bit off of this guy. And we're going to stick it to this guy. And just kind of work it in till we get them even. They're pretty even enough. We're going to put that guy up there. We're going to roll this guy into another log and cut him in half again. Roughly. Boop. That's pretty darn close enough. We're going to throw that up there. We're going to cut this guy in half again. We're going to do this until we have 16 pieces. So that's like a lot of halves. That's 2. This will be 4. When I cut that next piece, that'll be 8. That's 4. I'm just going to spread these out so we have room for them all. I should probably get a quarter sheet. I think this has a quarter sheet. Either a quarter sheet or a half sheet. But either way, it'll work for holding my little ball doughs. Now we're just going to keep doing this until we have them in 16 balls. Now that we have our 16 beautiful balls, we'll sprinkle a little bit more flour down, just lightly. And we need to, put that right there. Roll these babies out into 9 by 5 pieces, which is going to be, oh boy, this has to go back over here. 9 by 5. You don't need a rolling pin for this, but it's definitely going to make life a little bit easier. I'm doing this very gently because I don't want to over roll them. There's also too much flour. Well, this first one's going to be interesting. Oh, I'm sweating. That's cool. I like it when I'm sweating when I'm cooking. That's just my favorite. My rolling pin technique, not the best, but it's okay. It's all going to be okay. Okay, this is 9 by 6. So I think that's about 8 by 5. Is that what I said it needs to be? That's what it has to be. Now, what I need to do, you should probably use a knife for this. I'm not going to because I'm blind, and it's definitely easier if I don't. We're going to spread some butter inside this sexy beast. All over the inside. Just like so. Just spread it around. And then I'm going to take a pinch of sugar and sprinkle that in there. And then we need to allegedly roll this up like so. Just like so. So we have a nice long tube. And then, I don't know if I pinched the ends or not. The rest, I'm going to put this on the cutting board. The recipe didn't say to pinch the ends, but they said to curl it into a spiral shape and tuck the end under. All right, that looks cool. I forgot to grease my muffins. Just going to spray it all over this bad boy so we don't have any sticking anywhere. And so it's a nice, healthy, rising environment. Okay, so we take this, oh, I put it down on it. I'm sorry, little guy. We take this little guy, we put him in the muffin tin. And then we're going to let him rise. We do this over and over again till we have this thing filled up. That's going to take a while. Damn it, I did it the wrong way again. We want it to go this way. It's so unnatural for me. We're just going to, I pretty much spread it out to the proper length. Now we're just going to roll out the width. I think that's a solid plan. Just going slow. I don't want to press down too hard and break everything that the yeasties work for. Now, being able to see your rolling pin in action is challenging when you're rolling, because you got to keep rolling, hoping it's going the right way. Check it, and just keep playing it by ear like that. All right, more butter. We're just gonna put some on here and then just spread it all around. Like I said, you can use a butter knife, but not being able to see this, it's much easier if I use my hands to do this. All right, we're buttered. Grab a pinch of sugar. Just sprinkle that on the inside. And we're gonna roll her up. That's a beautiful roll right there, if I do say so myself. All right, that's rolled like a little worm. Now we're gonna roll it up this way. We tuck the end under the bottom and put her in the muffin tin, which I definitely did not lose. Just like so. Beautiful. We have 2, and I'll be back when I have this thing filled. Okay, so we're knocking over avocado oil. What we have here is our medinguses. I forgot how to say them again. Ensaymadas? Ensaymadas. And I don't know. I gotta let these rise again for up to an hour. So I'm going to put them back in the oven with the pilot light on, and we'll be back in an hour and know that these taste good, because this is a lot of damn work. Okay, we're going to make some filling real quick, because they're almost risen up to double in their little pans. They might actually be quite over double by the time I get done, but that's okay. I'm going to put in a half a cup of butter. One recipe I read said to do half a cup of butter and half a cup of powdered sugar. The other one said do more, but the other one said to put it on in between. This one didn't, so you know what, actually, we're going to mix this up by hand real quick with the mixer. This is a smoke in the kitchen special move. You just grab an electric beater and you just mix it up to de-weaponize it. All right. This is room temp butter. And now we're just going to cream this up, which means mix it a lot. All right. We got our beautiful buttercream. Now let's check our beautiful boys. Woo, baby! Look at those poofy babies. I'm just going to take a normal spoon here and just start putting a little bit of the buttercream right on the top. So when this heats up, it'll melt and cover these beautiful babies. Just a little dollop on each one. Put some on these four. And then after these bake, we're actually going to put more of this on there, because more is better. Oh, that's a lot. Oh, that one's going to be super buttery. We're all buttered up. Our oven is just about preheated, and when it is, we're going to put these in at 300 for 20 to 25 minutes.
Look at those beautiful babies. Look at those beautiful babies. They're just ready to be delicious.
Kaboom! We have Filipino spiral bready things. All right. These look pretty big and beautiful. I'm just going to give them a second to cool off in the pan, and then we're going to get them out of here and get them on a cooling rack, allegedly. This all barely fits on the counter. Okay, that one lifted out okay. We'll put him up there. Some of these bigger ones don't quite want to release yet. That's okay. We're going to treat them with love. Try and get them out. Oh, those are soft. That's why I'm doing this so slow and so carefully, because I don't want them to break. Baga! So hot. So hot. Gaga. Gaga. They're so flaky and fragile. So I'm going to continue burning myself and getting these out a little bit at a time, and we're going to let these cool. Gaga! Gaga! And once they're cool, we're going to put one on a plate. We're going to give it to Miss Sarah. We're going to have her see if this is a true Filipino swirly bread. I keep forgetting the name. Ensaymada, Ensamon, Moofy. Also, I lied. I still have to put buttercream on these again, and cheese after they cool off. You don't want the cheese to melt. I just confirmed that with Sarah because I did not know, and the recipes were conflicting that I looked at. So once they cool off, I'm going to buttercream one. You just grab some buttercream, spread it on the top. Boom, boom, bam. You're all good. But I sound like I'm out of breath. It's because I feel like I'm giving myself burns on my hand. It hurts. This hurts a lot. I'm mostly used to it, but I'm burning myself, but it still hurts. Not gonna lie, it's not good. Not something I would suggest. But how else do you get hot Filipino swirly bread out of a pan, you know? So what we have here is some beautiful, mostly cooled off Filipino swirly breads. They're so light and fluffy and airy. I hope that's how they're supposed to be, not dense, because these are like super light. We're gonna give her this big fat one. What I'm gonna do is pretty this one up for Sarah. We're just gonna spread some buttercream here on the top, kind of gently, kind of generously. I don't know how you're supposed to do it. I've never made one of these before. I've never even seen one before. So we got the buttercream on there, just like so. I know this is weird. Now we grab cheese. And you generously put cheese on the top of it. That's what you do. That's what this is. This doesn't really want to sit evenly because of the swirl, but that's a beautiful little dude. And it's gonna fall over. Hopefully I don't get hit docked points for it falling over. I'm trying to level it out. And you know what? Stay. We're gonna give this to Sarah and see if it tastes like what it's supposed to. I have thoughts. We'll see.
Oh my god. I'm so excited to actually... Well, I really am excited. I haven't had this for years and it's so expensive to buy. Alright, I'm sorry. Oh my god. Oh my god! Cheche! Shout out to my best friend Cheche for reminding me about ensaymada, and then I keep talking about it. It's so good. It's so fluffy. It's so cheesy. It's so sweet. So good. I think you should try it yourself. Oh my god.
You don't have to eat the whole thing.
I'm gonna eat the whole thing.
Yeah, but not for the video.
Ta-ta! I love it. I'm not eating it. I don't care. Ta-ta! Ta-ta!
Yeah, we got that.
Ta-ta! Well, I have more things to say, so I requested to turn the camera back on. This ensaymada is super close to my heart. It's my favorite food when I was young, and I feel so nostalgic when I ate it. As you can see, well, my plate is empty, and I ate two. I ate two, and you know, after this, I'm gonna have another one because this is so good. I'm sorry, I'm a pig, but you know, he made it so good. Like, I'm not saying this because, you know, it's him. He's the best baker. But I'm saying this is because it's actually better than Goldilocks, whatever that is, you know, in the Philippines that I have.
What is Goldilocks?
Goldilocks, you know, that's where we buy our stuff, like polvoron. Yeah, well, we're gonna have another video for that. Cake, yema, whatever. Like, not, what am I talking about? Like cakes and stuff. Like, you could buy stuff. But yeah, this is so good. I mean, the sugar, I don't know how to describe it, but the sugar on top, you know, it caramelized, you know, once you put it on top, and it's just so good and fluffy, and I don't know, it just reminds me so much of my childhood. So it's really good. It's a tedious process. It took him like probably 5 hours or more to make it, but I would probably request it once again. Yeah. So that's it. Bye bye. Ta-ta for real. Because I just want to say that I appreciate this. I appreciate his time to make this dish. Bye bye.